Rap icon Jay-Z once famously said that his texture was the best fur, chinchilla. And what's that got to do with football shirts, I hear you say? Well, today I'm chatting shirt about the 1999 champion Parma home shirt, which as a late 90s classic comes replete with tons of different textures. First off, let's have a look at the main texture of the shirt. It's very, very smooth, but it's actually a little cross-hatched fabric, which is so fine. And actually, if you look at the stitching in between, it's kind of quite reflective. And it's a very, very novel texture when you get up close. It's absolutely beautiful. Another texture on the shirt is, of course, the embossed felt sponsoring, both with the champion logo, but also with the Stream logo, replacing Parmalat as the main sponsors, because this was only actually worn in the Tim Cup, or the Coppa Italia, as it should be rightfully known, of course. And this kind of felt fabric sponsorship is synonymous with the 90s, isn't it? Next texture is the thick, chunky collar. A completely different texture, really 90s, ribbed. I know what you're thinking, mucky lot. And echoed on the cuffs of this long-sleeved version. The badges are also peak 90s. I feel too old to say peak, but I've said it, so let's carry on. The club crest, the Liga Calcio badge on the sleeve, and of course the Concordia patch worn because they won the Coppa Italia in the previous season. All beautifully stitched. And finally on the back, we've got the printing. Very heavy, very 90s, with Ariel Ortega on it, the little donkey who was famous for playing for Parma during that season. And did you know it's actually former sponsors Parmalat that got Parma to play in yellow and blue stripes, which is obviously the city's colours, because of a massive rivalry with Juventus at the time, synonymous for playing in white and black. So that is why Parma had these shirts at the time. Interesting, right? And you can pick up this wonderful example of 90s vintage goodness over at Subside Sports with the official Ariel Ortega printing and the specific Tim Cup sponsorship.